speaker is Lisa Wozniak. Let me just say briefly, the state of Michigan would not have climate champions in office without the powerful work of groups like LCV, and LCV would not be what it is without Lisa Wozniak. And I look up to her, so I'm grateful to be able to introduce you today. Lisa serves as the executive director of the Michigan League of Conservation Voters, an organization that works to protect air, land, and water in communities all across Michigan by activating voters to elect and hold accountable public officials who fight for an environment that sustains the health and well-being for all of us. Increasing voter participation in every election, addressing structural reform to our democracy, and protecting voting rights have been at the core of Lisa's work for decades. Prior to this position, Lisa served as the Great Lakes Regional Director for the National League of Conservation Voters, overseeing programs in Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and Illinois. Born in Athens, Greece to Michigander parents, Lisa has a deep commitment to the preservation of this beautiful planet, with environmental justice, the protection of our water, and the existential threat of climate crisis front and center. With both graduate and undergraduate degrees from the University of Michigan, Lisa brings an interdisciplinary approach to problem solving, collaboration, and political change, embracing people-centered power, inclusivity, justice, and innovation as core values. Lisa has served and continues to serve on numerous boards and commissions at the national, state, and local level, including the National League of Conservation Voters Education Fund, Voters Not Politicians, and the University of Michigan Presidential Commission on Carbon Neutrality. Please give a warm welcome to Lisa Wozniak.
First, I just want to say, has Justin been doing an awesome job today or what? This is a big conference to organize and to make sure that he's doing a great job of introducing all these speakers. And to Corey and the Eagle team, hats off. It's been an amazing day. I am very honored to be here. You've heard a lot of really important remarks today, and I'm just going to share a few more, and then I have the honor of introducing a very special person. So the impacts of the climate crisis on our lives here in Michigan are undeniable, and we've heard time and again today about what those look like. Extreme weather events that are getting more and more frequent in our beautiful state, and they're doing things like wiping out farm fields and scorching cherries in the north. I've got two board members, one of whom is Bob Sutherland of Cherry Republic, and the other is Noah Marshall-Rashid of American Spoon, and their businesses are immediately impacted by things like this. Our infrastructure is being pushed past its limits, and I think many of us experienced firsthand the extreme flooding and the highways that were flooded in the last few years. I don't know if can anybody raise their hand and show me if you experienced those firsthand in the last few years? It's pretty devastating. It looked sort of like Armageddon. The regular electric power outages that are disrupting lives, which we've just recently experienced, putting people's health at risk, ratcheting up costs related to things that we weren't planning for, like hotel rooms and generators and spoiled food and, very importantly, medicines. And our Black and brown communities, those already disproportionately impacted and historically burdened by toxic pollution and failing infrastructure, are the ones that suffer most. And that's why we're here today, to declare that Michigan is taking these challenges head on. We have a history in this state of innovation. We've been hearing about that today, and Glenn just mentioned it quite profoundly, of grit and problem solving. And we've got to be at the forefront of addressing this crisis. And under Governor Whitmer's leadership, we're on our way. The governor's My Healthy Climate Plan, drafted with support from so many in this room, and I want to thank you for the work, is the roadmap. And I also want to give a shout out to the Michigan Advisory Council on Environmental Justice, because I know that council leaned in very hard in the development of that plan, and it was essential. And we now have a legislature that came to Lansing with their sleeves rolled up, ready to take on the challenges that we face in the energy and climate space. Their constituents sent them there with climate and energy as a priority. And this was validated, and Corey mentioned this in his opening remarks. This was verified and validated just this past weekend with the release of a poll that shows that, by and large, Michiganders all across this state solidly support the provisions of the My Healthy Climate Plan. 87% support improving the power grid to better withstand extreme weather events. 80% support investing in energy efficiency upgrades for homes and businesses to reduce energy usage and lower costs. I'm looking at Carla. 73% of voters support increasing the share of electricity produced from renewable energy sources and increasing access to clean transit options. And 65% of voters support Michigan transitioning to a 100% clean energy electricity grid by 2035. With this kind of support from Michiganders all across this incredible state, leading national climate and energy advocates, national ones, right, are looking at Michigan as a model for clean energy innovation and climate action. And there's never been a better opportunity to take this kind of bold action, right here and right now. Many of the speakers have emphasized the billions of dollars that have been made available to states from the Federal Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and from the Inflation Reduction Act to help fund the large-scale energy efficiency and clean energy upgrades that we need to get the job done. And we have all the tools, more tools than we've ever had, to make this happen. And now it's on all of us, to make this possible. Governor Whitmer understands that action on climate change is fundamentally a pocketbook or a kitchen table issue. She understands that tackling our climate and energy challenges will make a difference in people's everyday lives, not just by mitigating the impacts, which of course is incredibly important, but by also creating real economic opportunities across this state. Taking action on climate change means protecting our lakes and our drinking water, lowering energy costs for everyday families and creating jobs. And very importantly, it also means bringing critical manufacturing jobs back to Michigan. And Governor Whitmer understands that equity and justice must be at the heart of all that we do. Under Governor Whitmer's leadership, we have moved to transition all state buildings to carbon neutrality. She's worked to make sure that batteries and technologies to fuel the electric vehicle and clean energy evolution are built right here at home. And she has charted a roadmap for realizing a healthy, prosperous, clean energy future with the My Healthy Climate Plan. We at the Michigan League of Conservation Voters know that with Governor Whitmer's tremendous leadership and her partnership with the state legislature, exclamation point, we can make Michigan a global leader in creating good-paying, clean energy jobs, cleaning up our air and our water, and lowering costs for all of us. So this is our moment. We need all hands on deck. And our governor likes to say, and Casey reminded this to us when he spoke earlier, let's get it done. I'm very, very proud and honored to introduce our clean energy and climate justice governor, Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm so pleased to be here with all of you and so grateful for the work that you do. And to my friend Lisa Wozniak, the Executive Director of Michigan LCV, I couldn't ask for a better partner. Dan Eichinger, my Interim Director of EAGLE, who's doing a phenomenal job. Corey Connolly from the Michigan Office of Climate and Clean Energy is three wonderful examples of the battalion of people who help us do this work. I'm really excited to be here with all of you and so grateful. So welcome and hello to the Healthy Climate Conference. I hope that you've had a great first day in Detroit, and I'm excited to share some of my climate and clean energy vision for Michigan. Now, we are on a roll right now with a working majority in Lansing, which Lisa just talked about, yes? And a slate of powerful economic development levers and billions in federal resources on the table, we are in a strong position to lead the future of clean energy and climate action. We all know that climate action is a kitchen table issue. It's about good-paying jobs, safe, reliable, affordable energy, clean air and water. It's tangible, and it makes a difference in our lives. Climate action requires, demands collaboration, and that's why this conference is so important. It gives you, leading policymakers and action takers, space to identify shared challenges and develop strategies to get things done. One of the themes of this conference is to change everything. We need everyone, and I could not agree more. Ignorance, inaction, and only individualized responses are not going to get us anywhere. Today, we're gathering a year after the release of the My Healthy Climate Plan. I want to thank everyone who got it across the finish line. The plan offers a vision for more prosperous, sustainable Michigan. A Michigan where we generate 60% of our energy from reliable, renewable sources by 2030. Where we build a charging network to support 2 million electric vehicles on the road. Where we address environmental injustices and ensure equitable access to economic opportunities. Where we protect our land and our lakes, both great and small. These are ambitious but attainable goals. And to get us started, I am proud that Michigan's just received $3 million federal grant to implement the My Healthy Climate Plan. And today I'm more optimistic than ever about our ability to take climate action. In the last 15 months, President Biden has signed bills that will create tens of thousands of Michigan jobs and jobs across the country and bring supply chains of cars, chips, and clean energy home. The bipartisan infrastructure law will help us fix the damn roads, replace lead pipes, the damn pipes too, and build out electric vehicle charging network. The Inflation Reduction Act will help families switch to energy-efficient appliances and electric vehicles, turbocharge domestic clean energy production from wind and solar. And the CHIPS and Science Act will attract cutting-edge semiconductor manufacturing jobs and facilities to Michigan, so we don't have to rely on other countries to move our cars off the line and onto the road. These 3 laws, 2 of which were bipartisan, offer us a generational opportunity. It's why I was one of the first governors to sign executive directives to compete for resources from these bills. Harnessing the potential of these laws will require us, in the words of Senator Stabenow, to make stuff and grow stuff. And luckily, that's what we do. We invented the assembly line. We forged the American middle class. We supply produce and products to countless states and nations. We make stuff and we grow stuff. It's what we do. We have generations of manufacturing know-how, world-class universities and workforce. We regularly punch above our weight and build the future here in Michigan. You don't just take my word for it, though. I know you're scientists, you want to look at the numbers, and I love that. We are a top 3 state for sustainable development and battery and electric vehicle manufacturing. We are the #1 state in the nation for energy sector job growth. We are home to nearly 120,000 Michiganders working in clean energy and projected to create 167,000 more clean energy jobs. Since I took office, we have secured over 36,000 jobs building batteries, electric vehicles, chips, and $7.2 billion in new clean energy projects. And we're just getting started. In February, I released my budget proposing over $1 billion of investments to lower the cost of electric vehicles by up to $2,400, to build more chargers, hundreds more chargers, and to put more electric school buses on the road, to incentivize clean manufacturing and improve air quality in impacted communities, to create more tuition-free paths for hundreds of thousands of people to get good-paying jobs in advanced manufacturing. And with all this momentum on our side, Michigan can define the future of clean energy, of climate action, of manufacturing, when, not if, we get it done. We will secure our energy independence and build safe, reliable grids. We will protect our water from pollution and PFAS. We will ensure every family has clean air to breathe, access to healthy, affordable, local food, and pays less to power their home. And we will make Michigan a place where anyone can get an in-demand job, from those who don't require a college degree to careers in engineering and science. There's a path to prosperity in this work for every person. But ultimately, we do this work because we care about our future, and we want to leave behind a better world. But you know who cares more about the future than I do? Our kids. I've gotten so many letters from young people who are concerned about climate change. And last month, I went to the Michigan Youth in Government Conference, where high schoolers from across the state come to our capital in Lansing with bills that they have written to debate big issues with fellow attendees. Several bills introduced by the students from across the state were about reducing emissions and protecting our water. Young people are demanding climate action because they have a greater stake in the future of Michigan than we do. They will live with the consequences of the choices that we make now. And that's why they are already leading, using their voices and their votes to fight for their priorities. Because of them, I am a climate optimist, and I encourage every one of you to be one as well. I'm pretty sure I'm talking to a bunch of climate optimists here. Back in 2009, Michigan's capacity for renewable energy was 17 megawatts. Just 17. Last year, it was 3,554. It's only going up. Some of Michigan's fastest growing industries today are advanced mobility and clean manufacturing. Wind and solar cost a fraction of what they used to in 2009 and generate more energy. Battery prices have dropped while efficiency has gone up. And this progress proves that we don't have to choose between prosperity and our planet. We've seen a lot of economic booms in American life, the auto boom, the tech boom, and now the climate boom. I am a climate optimist because I believe in our innate human ability to innovate. I'm a climate optimist because I know that future generations will rise to the occasion. I'm a climate optimist because hopelessness helps nobody. Our duty, our extraordinary privilege as people of power and resources is to fight for Michigan's future. Let's work together and get it done. I thank you, and now I'm going to turn it back over to Justin. I hope you all have a wonderful evening in the beautiful city of Detroit. Thank you.